Hey, it is Jacqueline at Jacqueline Joyce, and this is a stutter video. So for those of you who don't particularly view my content for stuttering info, this is not for you. But if you want to learn a little bit more about stuttering, or if you do stutter, this is for us. Hey, this is for us. Alright, now, many of you have seen this video floating around on social media.
Looking like
It's of a young man trying to talk to a young lady. He stutters, obviously, and the lady is hysterically laughing at him. Like, hysterically. Now, a question that I've been asking myself is, okay, why is it okay to laugh at this?
To talk.
And not this? So I have a few ideas. I believe that one of the reasons why is because our society has a soft spot for issues that are visible to the naked eye. This is a reach, so hang on. When you see someone in a wheelchair, your first impulse is to think like, oh, they can't walk. That's something that I can do. It sort of like sucks that everyone doesn't have that. And that happens for me when I also see someone blind. I'm like, oh, you can't see. I like seeing. I wish you could see. However, when someone stutters, first of all, it's not a visible disability, so a person doesn't have a moment before meeting someone who stutters to gain their posture and just be like, don't be an asshole, don't be a jerk. The weight of what a stutter is often underestimated or altogether ignored because a person who stutters can seem normal until the moment that they speak. People aren't given that chance to reflect and tell themselves, okay, act normal. Don't laugh hysterically if I meet someone who stutters. Don't like make jokes about, ah ha ha, porky pig.
That's all, folks.
There's no social cue to tell them to like not act like an ass. People aren't given the chance to reflect and tell themselves to act normal when it happens. Instead, they just sort of like, they're like, I don't know what to do in this moment. I wasn't expecting this to happen. She stutters, and that comes out in so many ways. They're sort of like hit with the disability as soon as you verbally choose to engage with them, and that can sometimes throw them off. So my second reason is we live in a society that acknowledges stuttering as a disability that we should make fun of. Like, take a look at the depictions of people and characters that stutter in movies or TV shows. They are most often used as the butt of a joke, or the disability is used for comedic relief. The story of the stutterer is rarely portrayed, if ever. These portrayals hurt us far more than they help us. They set up how we are viewed, especially for people who have never met someone who stutters in their life. Like, how would you feel if every time you met someone, they thought, ah, Daffy Duck, or ah, Porky Pig, or ah, a fish named Wanda?
Have you got a stutter? Yeah.
That Joe song. Which also correlates people who stutter with liars and the action of stuttering with lying. The amount of times that I've been told, shut up, you not, stop playing with me, you're not doing this, come on, da 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 da. It's a direct correlation that people make, because when you stumble over speech, which is what actual people do, they don't stutter, they stumble. That is indicative of one being false or telling falsehoods, when that's not true for people who stutter. How would you feel if every time someone met you, they thought, ah, Porky Pig?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the...
No. Stuttering is often thought to be the fault of the person who stutters, and that it's something that can be alleviated if they just slowed down or if they thought first before they spoke, but also because, I'm gonna spit some facts at you guys, because a large population of children stutter. However, only 1 in 4 will continue stuttering into adulthood, and most people who grow out of stuttering attribute it to their skill in overcoming this difficulty in their life. Like if I could tell you the number of people who tell me, oh, I prayed and I went to church and I slowed down and I breathed and I read poetry and I read books and I ate vegetables and did my chores and then my stuttering stopped. That's all you gotta do. Or you were a part of the 75% of people who stutter when they're young and then they just stop, because that's the phenomenon of stuttering. That's just what it is. Like, that's not that you naturally grew out of your stutter. And this false sense of achievement that people who grow out of their stuttering have can give people a feeling of superiority over those who still have the struggle, giving off the idea that people who stutter into adulthood aren't trying hard enough. You know, if I did it, you can do it. When science says that that's not true, but when have people been listening to science in the past year and a half? When have people been listening to science for a long time, actually? But yeah, science says you're not that great. It just happens. The third reason it seems that people are more apt to make fun of stuttering is because we live in a fast-paced society. We want fast food, we want fast service, we want fast cars, we want fast money, we want fast money, we want fast money, we want fast videos. Like, why do you think I jump cut my stutters? Otherwise we would be here like where? You feel me? And with all this pressure to speak faster, we end up stuttering more. It's a double-edged sword, y'all. Here are some of my tips to help people who stutter deal with the society we live in and just how to make it a better place for you. Advertise your stutter. This is something I do. I tell people that I stutter when I first speak to them, or even if I've been in conversation and I've been pretty fluent, and then if a stutter pops up, I say, yo, by the way, I stutter. Like, I stop it and I'm like, pause, I stutter. You need to know this so we can continue this conversation and you won't be looking at me like you are confused the entire time. And then I'm looking at you like, oh, they're confused. And then everything that we were talking about is now null and void because I'm thinking about that. I don't want to do that. So I just tell them, y'all, I stutter. I stutter. It is what it is. Okay, cool. Let's continue. And like, to be honest, advertising your stutter just puts them on guard, so that way they know, okay, I need to be patient. And to be honest, people have really come to me and been thankful for the fact that they now have to change how they listen when talking to me. They're thankful that they now have to slow down and really be intentional about listening and intentional about speaking, which is what most people aren't anyway, especially people who don't have any sort of speech disorder. Most people are not intentional about their speech at all. They just flippant. They're just flippant with what they say. They don't say what they mean. Words don't have meaning because they don't treasure it the way we do. Number 2, I always size up people. I see where people's jerk barometer are. Like, if it's here and then it's slowly going up, I'm like, ooh, you're a jerk. We don't need to be in the same room. We don't need to be in the same conversation. I'm not gonna jump into a conversation with you because I know that people who tend to be impatient are jerks, and I just don't wanna put myself in that situation. Now, sometimes you work with people or you have to, you know, share oxygen with these mofos, and in that case, I say positive affirmations over and over and over in my head, reminding myself that this person does not dictate who I am by any means, and I continue on with whatever task it is that we're doing. I speak slowly and I speak with intent, and that helps me out a lot. Now, for people who do not stutter, we just ask that you don't do this.
Looking like
Like, come on. Girl, what was you thinking? Like, where is your decorum? It's nowhere to be seen here, obviously. I know this is not the first time you've ever heard of someone stuttering. It's in every cartoon. It's in a million films. Children do it all the time. And though I do think that this young man who does have a very severe severe stutter could have taken more control of the situation himself by saying it. He didn't. And humans, y'all people, have to make decisions to not be completely awful. Don't be awful, awful ass. Anyway, I'm Jacqueline Joyce and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. If you have any friends who stutter, who feel like they're in a deep dark place of despair and need some help to get out of that, or need someone to connect with who knows a little bit about it, who can share their story, share my videos with them. Let them know that I'm here. I'm here to help, and also I'm here to help myself because I don't know it all. I get flipped up and tongue-tied and stumble and stutter all the time. I get frustrated, I get nervous, I get the levels of fear and anxiety that I've been through with my speech have lessened, and I want to share a little bit of how I got to the place that I am now, which isn't even the place where I want to be. You know, I'm on a journey just like you guys. So I also do caregiving videos. My mother has dementia, as some of you know, so I'm going to talk to that. If you have any caregiver friends or know anyone who needs a little bit of perspective, uplifting, or any of that, share those with them too. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. I love you. Stutter beautifully. Thank you. Mwah.